Never seen it get too far whenever you're around. You don't hold me like you used to, baby, I'm afraid to fuck with my mind, and I'm face time. Swimming under the sea of blankets, your presence, it seems to be weightless. Not to get confused with the way things really are. Whenever you're around, never seem to get too far. Whenever you're around, you don't hold me like you used to, baby, I'm afraid to coffee, you like candy. Our glasses of white wine tend to be your thing. Me, I like whiskey with a side of pain.
Yo, what's up, guys? Let me go ahead and see if I can fix the screen. Let me know in the chat if y'all see the screen really messed up, because that's exactly how I think this is gonna look right now. All right, let's see. Yeah, we have Matt Rosa playing. That was music playing in the background. Shoot the boy a listen. Fired up for this session. What's up, Josh? We got Miguel Figgy. We are in Cali right now with the whole squad. Make some noise. Woo! All right, so we got Cali out here. This screen is all messed up, right? Beautiful. That's amazing. So how do I actually fix this? So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually sending this to through a HDMI. So that's why it's all weird. So I might have to actually change this. Hold on. Full screen. Oh, that's definitely not it.
Adjust the screen it's on.
Hold on. That's not the screen. Nah, it's not that's not it. It's the HDMI.
Mike, if you want, let some of us stream it over there.
Alright, it's not gonna be instant.
Huh?
It's not gonna be instant.
That's fine.
Alright, cool. So y'all do that thing. It's on y'all then. Here you go. Alright, cool. So, what's up, everybody? All right, sick.
Not even airplay? Did you try airplay?
We're at the Rancho office. Mike, what's up? What up, Modesto?
7275.
7275. Now y'all know the code. If y'all hacking, it'd be funny. Oh no, that's worse. All right. Well. We experimented. We're gonna not do that. They'll figure out how they're gonna watch this. So we're experimenting with different things, and trying to make it happen. We got the whole squad. How many people? We got like 15 people in the house here, and then everyone that's plugging in live. So I know the screen's good to go now, so it should be smooth sailing. But what's up, Bay Area? We got Charlotte in the house, Texas out here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna dive into basically what is to be expected for the whole week. So I'm going to take feedback from you all. If you have specific charts that you want me to look at, specific currency pairs, and just let me know in the chat, or obviously here in the room, y'all can just let me know. I already got a first request, which is AUDUSD,
SPS.
S&P 500. What up, Bakersfield? What up, Ricky? Jose Valdez. So, guys, go ahead and share this now, and then just let me know in the chat if the visuals are good to go, and then the audio also is good as well. So, let me close out a couple things. We don't have the strongest Wi-Fi, but we're here, and we're making it happen. So, all right, this week, guys, it's actually a way slower week, and this is usually how it goes. So, if you look at last week was just absolute chaos. I mean, you can't even see everything that happened last week on one screen. So this week, markets cooling. And this happens often, and actually a lot of things that happen here is most of the time people want to be in the market. People love to be in the market. They have such a they have a hard time to getting off of the market. And so when you're looking at this here, if you don't see a setup, don't force it. One of the number one things is just don't force yourself to be in the market. Who here, and I know most of you probably won't share this, but who here took a trade that they weren't supposed to take today? You know, who took a setup that honestly you forced it, you skipped the confirmation, but just because the USD was a little bit slower this morning, metals didn't show up the way you wanted them to, so all of a sudden you're in a trade. Someone said meat as fuck. So, hey, and that happens. Trust me, my first probably whole year was like that. It was just diving into the market, doing whatever I felt like, but you're only really going to get paid based on the things that you're doing consistently. So if you don't see something in the market, just relax. It's going to be fine. But what I do want to go over is I want to start with AUD news, because we actually have Australian news in about an hour and 18 minutes. So we may have a setup here shortly. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be live by the time the news hits. So, I mean, we never know, right? But actually, there's a good chance we might be. Who knows? We'll see. But what I do want to do is get you guys ready for that. And we're going to start with AUDUSD, and we're going to go from here. And so this is the way I approach the market. For me, it's about working smart, not working hard. I really don't believe in being in the market all the time. I actually think it's kind of a waste of time, because there's only once you understand what you understand, then you really don't learn about yourself until you're in the moment, until you have to manage the trade, until you have to execute based on what you know. So theory is honestly just cheap. So there gets to a point where all you will do is basically find out if you are actually doing the things that you said you were supposed to do. So in the beginning, yes, of course, you want to put into practice the strategies and the concepts that you're learning. But outside of that, I mean, you're just on the market because you're bored and you have nothing else to do. So to look back, right, let's review from what we did last week. Now today is what, the 6th? Hold on, let me switch over. We got the Spanish. We got the Spanish trading view right now. Let's flip this back to English. All right, cool. So we got AUDUSD. We're good to go. So last week, if you were live with me here, you were looking at what we had to expect in the market. Now, last week on YouTube, this wasn't ready yet, but on for those of you that watch me trade every morning, to hop on the live sessions for the members, y'all knew what to do for FOMC. You guys were ready for this. So we were able to take this play, and the market ran. Me, I took my exits, the majority of my exits, right around here. So 4-1, and then I have a 33% of my trades still actually running right now, actively. But what is it that we can do here? Because we do have AUD news coming, and so what is it that we're looking to take advantage of? Hold on. All right, cool. I was getting a phone call real quick. So what we got going on right here is the following. We have this imbalance here left over from current price action. So this is more looking at this on the 1 hour, just looking at what's going on in the moment. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Cool, basic structure. This imbalance, there's a pretty good chance that we have price coming into this area. That's fine. But do I have a place to enter the market? Not really. Not at all. So, okay. Is there a chance that AUD maybe comes down, fills this out? There's a chance. But if you zoom out, let me take a bigger look at what's happening here in the market. What are you going to see? You're going to see that price is actually coming into a zone. It's at least relatively close to an area that we've seen from August 10th, 2023. So price goes crazy to the upside, eliminates tons of sellers, and then the market just slams down. So we have a massive imbalance over here, and I think we can take care of this week. Now right now, we're losing some momentum. So for us to get all the way up here, we kind of need like about 100 pips or so minimum. And honestly, I like the sells up here even more, a little bit higher up. So why is this a likely scenario? Well, we have equal highs now. So if you actually zoom out and you're looking at the daily or the 4 hour, what can you see? There's been retail sellers right around this price point, 0.6520. More retail sellers here, more retail sellers here. So what's the most predictable place for stop losses to be? Right above these highs, right? Right above these levels. So that's really what I'm looking at here. Like, this makes a lot of sense to me. We have a lot of intentional price. Money can fly up to this area, liquidate these sellers, and then reverse from this zone. So how do I know? How do I know that there's money sitting over here? Well, first of all, I had already drawn this out from months ago. But second, when you see such a massive wick like this, what you want to do is you want to investigate this daily candle. Right? You want to investigate maybe inside of this daily candle, price played out and it chopped up and worked its way down. But maybe not. So what I do is I use this bar replay tool. I go back to what we had seen in the past. And then from here, I go looking for more detail. So you can go down to the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 15 minute, just to understand more about what has happened in this price. And when we take a look at this, what you realize is you have to get down to the 5 minutes to really understand what happened. And so right here at 7:25, 7:30 a.m., this is Central Standard Time. This is the chart, the time that I'm in right now. Central Time, this goes crazy. So if you go look back at August 10th, 7:30 a.m., I can almost guarantee we had fundamentals news at that time. So, okay, we'll look at it right here. Look, check this out. You go over here, go back to August. August, what was it? August what? 10th? August 10th, 7:30. All right, check this out. So, August 10th, 7:30. What do y'all think? Is there a news event or not?
Yeah.
Am I right? Y'all don't want to bet against me? Fine. Look at this. 5:30 a.m. This is Pacific. So, all right, hold on. Let me change the time. All right, Central.
+7. Or -7.
So, now I got to go back again. This is scam, bro. All right. August 10th, 7:30 a.m. Right? We had 4 news events. We had CPI, unemployment claims, went crazy. And then later that same day, we had Australian news. So you look at this. This was CPI, unemployment claims, drove price even higher. What a coincidence that price goes crazy to the upside. And it goes exactly to where? As it goes exactly where there was another institutional buy open as well, over here. Closes this buy, down goes this sell, and then we see it happen again. August 10th, that's CPI, unemployment claims. Price goes, it just rockets to the upside. Look, you literally see this shoot up like 40 plus pips, and then it melts. From here, it chops up a little bit, and we still leave a lot of imbalance behind. And the way in which this drops, to me, we don't really mitigate yet. So honestly, I think we can see a sell from this area, basically from 0.6590 to 0.6616. It's about a 25 pip zone that I'm waiting for sells. It's basically what I'm seeing right now. And then what you'll realize is as time goes on, and we zoom out again, you can tell right here. Here's where we have all of this money. There's a massive buy position that opens up, eliminating a whole bunch of sellers. Price just melts. So yeah, this is the zone that's interesting to me. Do I think that the news event we're going to see in about an hour, could that take it all the way up there? I feel like it's a stretch. For this to move over 100 pips, it's a little out of the daily range for AUD. It's not impossible, but it's just not very likely. So what does that mean then? What can happen? We might not get there with AUD news, so we may not get there with what is to be expected like today, but we might get there with Powell speaking on Wednesday. Maybe, tomorrow's New York session could push us closer. Maybe it's unemployment claims and then JP speaking again on Thursday, or it's finally the prelim news event on Friday. But we should see this kind of work its way higher up to here. Now, some of you are probably thinking, well, if price is going to go up 100 pips, why wouldn't I buy it? Right? Like, why wouldn't I buy this right now? Who could tell me why not? Why wouldn't I buy this if I think we're going to get up here and then drop? Why wouldn't I buy this starting right now?
There's no confirmation.
What would be the confirmation for the push up, right? Like, what would be the motive for price to just go up? And this is what I really see this as a downside for a lot of traders, is that they have certain beliefs about direction, but they don't have confirmation for entry. And you got to remember, the only reason market moves is because there's money moving the market. So the question you have to ask yourself is, what's going to incentivize money to enter or exit the market? Everything that you see here is just an exchange of money. It's just swapping hands. That's it. It's just swapping hands. So is there a reason for this to go up right now? What do you guys think? Not really. I could see it come down, maybe another 20 pips or so. And from here, does price go down a decent amount? Yeah, chops up, continues. So I can see it go down and fill some imbalance. Now, some of you might trade this imbalance fill and maybe play it off of the previous high. That's not my trade. That's not my trade. That's not my style. It just doesn't have the return that I like. But I know some of you like to trade this. So if that's your thing, cool. It's not mine. Right? I like to be entering when I know there's a lot of money that's going to enter the market. So for now, the big idea and what makes the most sense for me is this sell on a daily. Now here's the thing. Before I can really take a swing at this idea, I do want you all to understand there's a couple different pairs that actually look a little similar. So I will share with you all this AUDUSD setup. And here's how I see the market. Obviously, you guys see me do this all the time. Oh, snipes. What's up, guys? So AUDUSD. There you have it. But to add on to this, because there's going to be a lot of Australians. So if the market's dipping right now, could we have a possible setup somewhere else? Could we be getting ready for an opportunity anywhere else here in the market? And so, for example, I'm going to go through all the AUD pairs to start because I do think that there is something relevant. So with EURAUD, what do we see happen right here? Do you guys think that most people that were to be buying support, this looks like strong levels of support, right? Here, 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 here. If I'm a retail trader, I'm eating this up. I'm taking buys. The problem is once there's enough money, right? Once there's enough liquidity in one zone, then you don't know when is it going to break through, right? When is this finally going to just crush these lows, liquidate all of the money, all of the pool of money that's been bought in around those prices, and then everything, all of the stop losses get wiped out. So EURAUD is really interesting to me because of that. It's since the beginning of last week. This has just been building up orders. It's been, not my bad, beginning of last month. This is the 4 hour. So for 35 days, basically here's Monday, October 2nd, Monday, October 9th, Thursday, November 2nd, Wednesday, November 1st, and then we just saw it last Sunday's Asian session. So I do think there's a chance that we work our way down. But here's the thing, this is so big, this zone on EURAUD. Like this thing drops basically 120 pips. That's a pretty massive range. So I would want this to flip around for the market to, you know, continue its way bearish and then switch up its structure. From here, then I'd be down to take a setup. So EURAUD, I need a lot more detail, but this is roughly what I would be waiting for in order to take a position on Euro AUD. So here y'all have it. So we have a lot left there. That isn't really anything relative right now. GBPAUD. This is one that could happen, even with news event that we're about an hour away from. It's a little distant, but with GBPAUD, this is now a smaller time frame perspective. But what do you see happen here? You had Friday, that Friday early session. You see price just drop almost 80 pips. That's a pretty healthy amount. From here, it kind of just hovers. We do see price pop off pretty well. So at this moment, the question is, was this movement the mitigation? Did the reversal that we get here, was this the exchange from big sellers to buyers? Or do you guys think this might have been kind of like almost too organic? Could price come back down here and then take this move to the upside? I think it's a possibility. Do I think there's better setups? Yes. But I might be willing to take this with a smaller risk than I usually would. Just because, I mean, just look at how massively this dropped before the market continued bullish. So I'm going to just keep my eyes on what's going on with this idea. But I'm not willing to send this out to you guys quite yet. However, the next thing that I really wanted to show you all is AUDCAD. And I think you brought this up to me, right, Mago? Or somebody else. Maybe it was somebody else. But
No, I did NZD and AUD.
oh yeah, NZDUSD, that's right. So AUDCAD is moving pretty similar to AUDUSD. Here's AUDCAD, and here's AUDUSD. So it's the same date, if I'm not mistaken, August 10th. Price spikes up, everything drops, and then this is building liquidity since August 15th. So imagine this thing moves sideways for, this is AUDUSD, for 83 days. You go take a look at AUDCAD, similar scenario. This is building up sellers for months. Now this move up here is from July 27th, not August 10th. August 10th was this one. So, but what's interesting is AUDCAD and AUDUSD, they're both kind of setting up similar, where they're both looking to liquidate equal highs to then get to a previous high. So AUDCAD is another idea that makes sense to me. The difference is this. AUDCAD only has to go about 50 pips to the upside, maybe 70 before it reverses, while AUDUSD, take a look at this. So AUDCAD, really similar. What I will do is I'm going to send y'all the chart for the daily, and it's interesting because I'm not usually on taking trades from the daily time frame. Usually we're much smaller, but with these ideas we do have to go back months. We have to go back months to see what's going on. So here's AUDCAD. There you have it. Now let's zoom in a little bit. What's happening right now? Where could price be going? So we talked about this. This happened a couple weeks back. Actually, this one was broken down on the live stream, if I'm not mistaken. This one was from Monday. Yeah, like I think it was the day before Halloween. So let's say we go to, I could be wrong, maybe I didn't stream that day. Where are we at? I think, yeah, it was this one. So I might have chopped this one up for y'all. Let's see. And then this is something that I am doing for everyone is I'm just making them in segments, so it's a lot easier for you to plug in here. As 100 gold. Maybe was it this one? No, that wasn't this one. But either way, whatever. You guys can go look it up if you want. But this is a pretty accurate entry that we're having, and we're doing this every single week, like just so you guys can learn this and figure it out. But on the smaller time frames, do I really see anything that's worthwhile? Not really. We're inside of a range. Looks like my battery's getting obliterated right now. I'm gonna just steal your charger, Nance. So right now, same thing with AUDCAD. I am waiting for this to clear these highs, get into these zones before we can sell off again. And that's been shared. So nothing that I'm really seeing on the small time frames for any of these Australian pairs. Everything looks to me like it's going to basically set up. Even AUDJPY, a lot of equal highs, a lot of squeezing. Nothing calling my name, so, you know, it's got to happen. You know, it's got to happen at least once. Someone's got to have an alarm or something. But what I will say is this. This is definitely a testing moment for a lot of people. What's up?
AUDNZD, do you want to look at this area?
So I saw that, right? And we talked about this on the live session this morning. So there's kind of a equal high setup right here, right? And then you see price sweep these highs right over here. Okay, so do I want to take this for sells? That's basically the question. I feel like, could this be a valid setup? Yes. Does it speak to me and say like, yeah, this is a really clear sell? For whatever reason, it doesn't for me. Maybe it's because it's just not much higher than the previous high. Like for example, here is where it takes out the highs. This goes up 2 pips above it. So for me, I really like to see like just really abundantly clear liquidity runs. This is kind of like, yeah, we got above it, but would this have stopped out all of these sellers? Maybe, maybe not. So could it play out? It definitely could. And if, for example, like let's say if you took this trade with, you know, some sort of responsible risk, would I say, oh, hey, you broke your trading plan? No. But I also I feel like something about the way that I see the market is just not selling me this idea. So maybe it's not enough movement for me to think, okay, would this entice people to buy or liquidate enough sellers? And it's just not really screaming yes to me. So that's why I would stay out. But if, let's say, someone were to take this and then it turned into a losing trade, I wouldn't be judging by any means. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I'd stay out of NZD, AUDNZD. I'm pretty cool on that. But yeah, what I want to say really is, yes, the next immediate high impact news is what's happening here with AUD, but doesn't mean you have to be in something. These news events, what they'll do is they'll either, sometimes there's nothing happening. And so this will shake up the market in a way so that it actually sets the market up for a trade in the future. Or these events, what they'll do is that they will move the market so it actually triggers an entry that you might have. It's either or. It's going to be one of those two things. Today, I don't think the intention really is to, you know, move and then activate your entry. I think today's intention is going to be to move so that it can kind of set up the market for a completely brand new setup. So that's what I'm waiting for right now with all Australian pairs. And so I'm cool. I'm chilling, right? And that's going to take care of whatever happens here in the next 55 minutes. Now from there we have tomorrow, right? So tomorrow we have some more impact news, and we have NZD, right? NZD, USD. All right, so we can take a look at all the NZD pairs as well, and this will be super fast. And then in the chat, if you want to share with me what you see, I know, you know, NZD USD has a similar setup to what AUDUSD is showing us. But the difference here is that it's got a way further way to go. This has to make a lot more of a push. So NZD USD also, we have that movement, that volatility from August 10th. Same thing as AU. The only problem is it's got to break above another high before it could even get here. If we look at AUDUSD, AUDUSD is already sitting at the highs from all of August. But NZDUSD, it hasn't even cracked through the high from October 12th. So could we see it stall out here? Yeah, definitely. All right, so for the NZD news, now this is going to be for tomorrow. Again, not really super abundantly clear entry opportunities. Here we did see price come up a little bit, drop, pull back, chop up and down. So again, NZDUSD, not really my favorite setups. And the reason I wanted to stream today, even though I'm not seeing like tons and tons of entry ideas and opportunities, is because I thought it was worth giving you the examples that you don't have to be in the market sometimes. Sometimes the best trader is the one that can go a day, and you'll hear this throughout the community, but no position is what? Is a position. So no position is taking a position in itself because you're making a conscious decision to just stay out of the market. So when we look at it like that, guys, trust me, when it's almost like it's the test. And this is the test that a lot of people fail. And it's just doing nothing. Isn't that kind of funny? Like one of the hardest things to do is nothing at all.
Facts. And everyone here came to trade.
Everyone here is like, yo, I want to trade. You know, and someone's like, yo, I literally funded my account so I can trade with you right now. And then now you're like, is he really not going to call it a trade? You know? But that's how a professional is going to do it. It's like, yo, I drove from Mexico to be here right now. And I don't know if no one drove from Mexico, right? No? All right, cool. So that's the truth. And, you know, I love to hear your takes here in the chat and in person. But it's the way it's going to go. But at the end of the day, my goal here is not to get you guys ready just for today, but for everything that you can expect for the week. And moving forward, this setup, I don't think this one we did live together. This one was on Go Live. So shout out to y'all. And yo, let me know in the chat who plugs in with me in the mornings on a daily basis. Let me know. Y'all make some noise, some figurative noise in these chats, right? So, all right, NZD. This has been bearish on this short term. Dropping and dropping and dropping. Price came down to here. We have a small pullback to start the week, but we're definitely flipping directions here. And the market distributed right here. So we actually took a really nice exit in the market here right before the whole thing turned around. So remember also, you don't get paid based on your entries. You get paid based on your exits, family. Always, every day. Yes, sir. English and Spanish. Good stuff. So what would I like? I do think we could eventually see an entry all the way back up here for sells and really run this sell back down again. But this sell will be valid for a swing trade if we take our time to get back up here. If you get to a certain price point very quickly and you leave that price very quickly, there's the chances is it's not going to hold as much. So for example, here we saw this on Halloween. Price went really bullish, cleared some highs, and then tanked. Now, you see how we now are making new lows? If price would have gotten down to these lows, let's say right down here, and then immediately came back up, the chances that this was actually becoming a lower low and the intention was to be bearish, it's way lower if it happens fast. But since it happens slower, once we get back up here, especially if it takes a little bit longer, we can expect a pretty nice drop. Yeah, I'm grateful for y'all too. So when we zoom in a little bit, we can take a better look at this, and remember that each time frame is really just giving you, it's a different lens, it's a different perspective. That's all that it is. There's no right or wrong time frame. I hear this question a lot. It's like, oh, what time frame do you enter from? And it's, for the way I look at the market, it's a weird question for me. It doesn't make sense to me because I don't enter the market off of a time frame. There's just like specific prices where it makes sense to enter. So I don't enter off of the time frame. I just enter off of price. I enter off of what the market is showing us. So for now, and I'll see if I can give you guys an example. But here, right, we see price clear out these sellers, drop down. We see another pull back up and then tank. And then you leave all this imbalance behind. So even though this has been melting and dropping, could we have a chance to buy? Could we have a chance to position ourselves in here so that we can work our way all the way up here? That's what I want to know, and this is what we're looking for. And so when we're looking at the market, you see the market ranging, price shoots down, ranges some more, then comes up. I don't necessarily see, and let me know, you guys can let me know too, but do you see a massive entry in the market from, an institution that orchestrates these things? Yes, we do kind of see a big spike down here, but this is the gap. It's from a new basic. Oh no, this is the last candle of the week, and then it closes. But I see this drop, market slowly works its way up, comes back down, and keeps going. So I don't see anything here that's telling me, hey, if this comes back, take a massive buy. No, there's really nothing going on, and that's why it's sometimes frustrating when you're, especially with Forex. Like that to me, Forex, I lose my mind with Forex sometimes because there's nothing going on. Like I trade indices in the morning, and basically every morning I'm going to get a setup, no matter what almost. So I'm super grateful for indices in my life. But let's take a different look at this. Let me ask you guys something. I want to just kind of gauge the community here and see how many of y'all understand what to do in this scenario. All right. So we have EURNZD and we have GBPNZD here. Okay. So here's the side by side. Now you can tell that there was a massive introduction to money right here, and this drove price way up here. With EURNZD, this was again on Halloween, Tuesday, October 31st, and there was, maybe there was like a news event or something. Do you have GBPNZD? So it's got to be NZD news. And again, price goes flying to the upside right here. Okay? So we see something like this. Now these setups are pretty much, they're almost identical. Would you guys say that? These setups look almost the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty close. So, okay, how do you start to differentiate? Well, which one should I take? Should I take either of these? What makes sense for me? So here's what I do, right? I would take fibs. Take some fibs here. Draw it out. Okay. So I can see, all right, EURNZDs, it's getting close to that 38 too. And then I see GBPNZD, and this is actually already above this 38 too. Now, as of right now, if you had to pick one of these two to take a sell. Once it comes all the way up here or all the way up here, if one of these two have to be sold off and they have to stay inside the range, which one of these two would it be?
Can I answer?
No, my guy, you can't answer.
I like your one.
Yeah. So y'all let me know in the chat here. But yeah, you're going to take the one that's basically going to get here last. Why do you want to do that? Because again, guys, this like you can't look at trading as one market. The world's currencies don't move independently. They move codependently. They move interdependently. So it has a lot further to go. So if this has to travel all the way up here, it's already kind of lagging behind. It's slower. Then if this is going to go all the way up here before it reverses, then what could happen is that GBPNZD may just poke right above before it turns around as well. And if you find yourself getting stopped out and then all of a sudden the market goes your way, it's probably because unknowingly you're trading the wrong pair. You're actually taking the wrong setup. This happens a lot on indices. People fall in love with one indice, and I don't know why, but that's just what happens, I guess. And it is what it is, you know. Like there's a culture, for example. Like I know we have right NAS. People love trading NAS, and I think I actually take more trades with NAS than US30 as well. But I'm not just default gonna sell or buy Nasdaq. I'm gonna compare the setups. So in this case, right now, it looks like EURNZD is the more likely to stay in the range. But here's what happens. Tomorrow, maybe price is up here, and EURNZD might be at 618, but GBPNZD is at the 50 level. So what would I do? Once the market actually is in the zone, then I'm looking to execute my trades. So once we're actually inside of the zone, that's when it really matters. Because on the way there, it might switch. But for now, this is what it is. So basically, looking to take the lagger of one of these two. But we will see which one it's going to be. So EURNZD versus GBPNZD. I'm taking the lagging setup. All right, that's what we got going on. Easy money. All right, so now we knock those out. What's left here on NZD setups? NZDCAD. Just pulled up into here. There's no news event today, so this is really more for tomorrow. Now let me ask you all a question. When you see this, what do you want to do here? Or what don't you want to do? You can answer either of those questions. I'll leave it to y'all right now. You see hold on, I'm showing up. You see NZDCAD like this. What do you do something or do you not do something? It's on the screen.
You don't want to sell the buy.
You don't want to what?
You don't want to sell the buy.
You don't want to sell the buy. Now, why do we stay out of this? Here's what we know. At this point now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's been about 5 different scenarios where there's sellers entering the marketplace. Eventually, it's almost like a ticking, like it's like a weighted. All right, have you guys ever seen the movie? Man, what's this movie called? Actually, if I tell you, then it's gonna be spoilers too. Do I want to tell you guys?
Yes.
All right, I'll say it like this. There's this movie that exists out there somewhere in the internet, right? Where they break into a bank. I know, very original. And there's a vault. Some vault that's never been cracked before. And they can't figure out why, and why is it that it's impossible to do it. And one of the things is that if you change it's based off of weight. So if the weight changes, then it everything automatically just locks up.
I think I see.
So that's kind of how I see the market. Once right now this is building up. It's like the institutions are almost like filling up a bag of retail sellers. Eventually it fills that bag enough where it's like, all right, we have enough money, let's blow this bitch up. And that's what happens. So sellers, and then eventually you'll have the liquidation of all of this money. And how deep we get a pullback is really going to depend. I'd say at least we're probably going to get up to around here, if not even higher. But this is where we have the liquidation of like all of this money. And something like this can happen, maybe even lower. So when I see whether it's equal highs, equal lows, whether it's trending, downtrend, uptrend, whatever it might be, the vault is it literally called the vault? That's hilarious. What is this movie called? Literally the vault. So anyways, I don't think that was spoiled up of money, very predictable way. That's a sign to just stay away, stay clear of this thing. So NZDCAD is one of those examples. Like, hey, I wouldn't even look to sell any of this, and I wouldn't look to buy it either. Because why do we buy? It's an exchange of money, and I don't really see where that would be swapped out. So NZDCAD, there's not much. NZDCHF, this is a useless pair, to be honest. One of the just most boring pairs ever. But as I'm saying that, I'm literally taking it back right now. And I'm going to tell you why. Does anybody see something suspicious here? All right. Yeah. So there's multiple reasons why I'm going to take back everything I just said about NZDCHF. I'm sorry. I love you. Y'all see this right here? Like, this thing is just it's on a tear. This homie right here is up. Who woke this guy up? So when you see the market do something like this where you're just not really getting pullbacks, when it's just quickly, here's normal price action, sideways movement, all of a sudden this is like just running. There's no real stopping this right now. And it was just, again, you see it happen all of last week. You see the same thing. So there's a lot of money here. When you see a push to the upside like this, it's almost the same thing on the way down, where this can get just absolutely crushed. But again, look at this. You see it on the way down as well. So we're in this area, really unusual. So seeing something like this, you saw this aggressively dropping and dropping and dropping. Like, you can't even keep up with this. Most people, you're going to paper hand these positions at some point, and you saw it come right back up at the same way. So what would I want? What would be my confirmation to get into sells and take advantage of this entire move down? Well, what am I looking for? And I'm looking for our setup. Do I have it yet? Right? Do I see an exchange from equal highs, an institutional buy? Like, I want to see something like this. I want to see the market, accumulate again, more retail sellers and buyers, clear them out, give us a lower low, create some stability, and then we get the sell for a swing where we can just take all of this. When you see things like this, where it's kind of just exponentially moving in one direction, if you happen to time out the swing highs and lows, this is how you can actually take swing trades. The problem with a lot of people is you're looking to swing trade just in random places. So right now, I think we could still maybe go higher. We don't have exactly what I'm showing you right now. If you look at this here and you look at NZDCHF, it's moving sideways, You do see it spike up right here, but then it basically makes equal highs again. Then it moves sideways again. So would I want to take any sells here? No. But does someone see something interesting right now? Anyone see anything? Yeah. What's that? Oh, it's kind of blurry. Oh, that's bad.
No. I think it's just his service, but you're good.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah, you get it. You
All
get it,
right,
bro.
good. I'm like, yo, that's terrible. What's an institutional buy? This thing right here. Actually, no, that's not it. It's the opposite.
You'll be looking for the checkup setup.
Actually, I see this one right here.
Yeah, I've seen this.
You saw that? It looks clean. So, what does this look like? Where do you see the shakeout setup, Miguel, actually?
My thing is not loading.
Oh, okay. I was like, I was just curious. So, what do we have here? So, last Thursday, market's moving sideways. It's moving choppy. And then all of a sudden you get, this just really just tanks. Drops down about, you know what's funny? It says it tanks. It moved like 11 pips. It moved like 12 pips. But to scale, it looks like it's a lot. Because this just doesn't move a lot. And so to scale, these massive 12 pip drop here. And then the market just, just works its way back up and carries on. So when the market drops like this is on purpose. Two things. One, these buyers, they get liquidated. Two, when people see something like this, when something like this is introduced into the marketplace, and this just keeps going up and up and up, everyone wants to catch the reversals. So people learn, candlestick patterns, and they see, oh, look, 15-minute candle, engulfed all of this, open sell. Market drops a little bit, and then it says, thank you for your positions. I will carry on with my day now. And there goes your trading account. And then, why would I use a stop loss? So it's got to come back eventually. Right, guys? Right? Please? So, again, this right here, very intentional drop, lures in sellers, clears out buyers, lures in sellers here. The market pulls back. What does this do right here? Those break and retest traders, they get lured in. Again, right here, lured in. Okay, this time it's got to hold on to the resistance. It's got to go down. And then it really just doesn't. Equal highs again. Okay, now there's resistance. This time for sure it's got to come down. Fuck, right? And that's how it goes. So this is very intentional on the way that it drops. Clears out a whole bunch of money. And I actually see, this is crazy. If I look at my history, I don't know if there's an NZDCHF trade ever. This might be like the last piece of the puzzle in my trading quest.
Well, you look at this side over here. If I drop to the 1 minute here.
Here? Like the lows?
Yes, more on the left.
Over here? So, yeah. So let's say we drop a little bit lower and we get a little bit more detail on the market here. And what Miguel is pointing out is, could this be considered liquidity right here, right? Because it kind of goes to where we had support before. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at this.
This could be liquidity. So could this trade maybe be vulnerable to getting waked out? It's definitely possible. And then could there be something else? There's something a little bit lower right here. So Miguel brings up a good point here where he says, well, what if this is what if this is still a vulnerable trade? What if price wants to go even lower? And I think he has a point. Now, what could you do? Guys, what's the correlating pair, the most correlated pair to NZDCHF?
AUDCHF.
AUDCHF, that's right. So, what if we look at AUDCHF, which I think we already did?
What day?
I might have just skipped it because it's AUDCHF, And so, if we compare these, because now, I'm pretty sure we're going to be trading news, basically. If we compare these here, All right. What do we see? They move pretty similar. So the idea that we're talking about is basically selling over here. Hold on. Why is this not showing up? We were looking at NZDCHF, yeah? Where's this chart?
Oh, you click on that, that's why.
Yeah, I saw that yellow text box. I don't remember ever writing that. So, all right. So right now, what do we got going on? They're moving really similar. And here's the thing: I love using these, putting them side by side because you just get a little bit more information. You get more detail. So here's AUDCHF and here's NZDCHF. We have this here. Apple Music apparently wants to make a cameo today. So here's the price action. If you look at AUDCHF, we're already here. AUDCHF, this is popping right now. Look at this. This is a lot of volatility. A whopping 15 pips for AUDCHF. And cool. When I see this, to me, naturally, it looks like NZDCHF is right now not pulling back as aggressively. So the bears are a little bit lighter on NZD. It looks like AUD is building up a lot more bullish strength. But what we will look at is AUDCHF already took care of this. NZDCHF didn't. So we kind of have a further way to go over here with NZDCHF. So what would I do in this scenario? Tomorrow when there's NZD news, I'd be more mindful to see, okay, where are we at when looking at this setup? And then same thing, you can look at NZDUSD and see, is this already deep, more of a deeper pullback? Should I take this or not? So my approach with something like this could be, if this equal lows that you're seeing here, either don't take the trade because you don't need to. Because just because there's equal lows, immediately this is no longer an A+ setup. Your probability of success, instantly, you lose some of it. It is what it is. So this may be a better opportunity for you. Same thing right here. I mean, you have a similar situation. So you could wait for it to go. You take maybe less risk or no risk. And one of the most amazing things about trading is the moment you realize that you don't have to take every setup that you find. You have the power to just ignore potential. At the end of the day, you set your standards for your setups. Right? You have all the power in the world to just not trade this one if you don't want to. And you know what I'm going to do when the market gets here? Nothing. I know. Crazy. Riveting. So unless there's other information, then we can do that. But another thing that you can do is you can check correlations. There's a couple websites, but for example here with MyFXbook, they have a pretty good one. If this got super slow. Hold on. Let's quit some of these things here. So I'll drop this link here for y'all if you want to check just the correlations between currency pairs or really anything. And so, like for example, we're looking at NZDCHF, and you can also check this based off of the time frames that you're looking at. So if you're looking at more short-term price action, you can drop NZDCHF, AUDCHF, basically twins. NZDCHF, NZDJPY, pretty similar. Now, NZDCHF and AUDNZD, they move almost exactly the same, but in the opposite directions from each other. So you can take a look at these things and use it to your advantage. So just how I showed you EURAUD, AUD news is now in about 20 minutes. Apparently I can talk for forever because that was the fastest hour of my life. So let me close this out here. For whatever reason, my FX book just like takes a whole bunch of bandwidth. Okay, so let's close out of this too. Cool. All right, so we can move on. For me, I'm just not really sold on this. Maybe that lower entry would be nicer. What else we got left? NZDJPY. Here, it's like you see the spike down. But then you have to ask yourself, why does this spike down exist? Is it an NZD push to the downside? Or is it a yen push to the downside? This makes a massive difference. I'm going to teach you guys how to investigate volatility. You do this, and it's going to help a ton. So, take a look at this. Thursday, November 2nd, price drops at 7 p.m. Price just tanks. And you see this drop down here. This drops like 27 pips. What happened that day? November 2nd, so you can go to FOREX Factory, wherever you get your fundamentals. I don't even know if you guys can catch me. This just got really slow, so this is probably, stream's probably not doing too hot right now. Okay. So we go to the second. So on the second, here, let me switch this to Pacific. Okay. On the second at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, price really just drops like a good amount right here. What pushes this down? Is it NZD? Is it the yen? What could it be? So you can look at more NZD setups. You see NZD drops a little bit. All right, so maybe it's NZD that just pushes down like that. PY, and then you go, okay, well, let me look at some yen pairs. Not really. Oh, this is sad. If y'all want to just have a moment of silence for me, here's a 1 pip miss buy opportunity. Yeah, those hurt. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so here with NZDJPY, what you can do is, let's say you like a setup like this. You can take a look at the other NZD pairs and then say, does it look cleaner somewhere else? This is how I make decisions. Like, does this look cleaner with another NZD pair? Could something else, get here maybe later on? Is there something that could respect structure here better? So here's NZDJPY. And then, my bad. Here's NZD, there's NZDJPY. Right here in this zone. Then we have NZDUSD. So could price get here later instead? So could this be a cleaner buy scenario? How would we figure that out? You can use the USD is at 38.2. Not quite at that 38.2, just from my look here, is way above 38.2. Sorry, NZDJPY is probably more likely to get here a little bit later on. You look at, okay, same thing, NZDCHF. So to go on to this, NZDCHF is way down here already. If we look at the zone, this is already pulled back. It's under the 50%. So do we feel less interested in this idea now, seeing that this is way more bearish than NZDJPY and NZDUSD? The chances of this idea losing is way higher now. because it's way more bearish than everything else. And the reason again is, why did we want to get into this in the first place? What drove this down? NZD volatility pushed this down. And everything else looks more likely to get there later than that. So I'm feeling NZDJPY for the buy. As of right now, this looks like the cleanest buy setup out of the NZD setups. And we'll wait and see. Now the news event for this is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific. Or tomorrow at... Yeah, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. So there's NZDJPY. All right, what else we got? Now, again, I didn't realize how long this was going to take. We got pound, dollar, pound. So cool. We're going to look at this, and then we'll wrap it up there. That'll take us to the news event, and then we're basically done and good to go. So, out of y'all here, anybody here trade London? I feel like in Cali it's a little bit easier to trade London.
Yeah.
But if you do, then you kind of sacrifice New York session, kind of.
I've been trading.
Or you're a savage. So y'all just don't sleep, huh?
I've been savage.
All right.
What's that?
What's that? Y'all are wild. All right. So the pound, y'all really. That's how I traded too, man. Starting out, just no sleeping. You know what we would do actually? We would take turns. Like someone else would have eyes on the market. Like I'll sleep for like an hour and a half because the REM cycle is like 90 minutes. So that's why like you get an REM cycle that you've finished like a sleeping cycle. When you feel groggy, it's because you didn't finish your REM. Like you just didn't finish the cycle. And then what's going on over there?
No,
It's not you. It's not you.
Oh, it's y'all? Y'all tweaking me out, man. So I remember it was with my boy Austin Dennison, the first person that ever started trading with me. And I would sleep for an hour and a half, and he'd make sure that, like, I don't know, the pound didn't do anything sketchy or something. And then we'd just take turns. And that's like, then I would look at the market, he'd sleep for 90 minutes. And then I worked for Red Bull at the time, so I had just stacks of like 30 packs, I think, of Red Bull. And then just like, literally I had a tower. Like literally had an actual tower of every flavor. It was nuts. Somehow I'm alive still. But yeah, it was crazy. It was madness. And there's a good chance that whatever we look at right now may not be even setting us up because we are a couple days away. But let's see. If there's some higher time frame stuff, then it might make sense. So I'm actually only going to go straight to the 1 hour, 4 hour situation. And Euro GBP, I just naturally have a distaste for this pair, so I'm just not even gonna look at that. GBP AUD. Someone here is like, yo, that's my favorite pair. GBP AUD price came into here and then really played off really nicely. So I am a little bit indecisive about whether this was the closing of this massive sell-off. I don't think it is. And but the uncertainty immediately lowers my risk percentage. As soon as I have some level of uncertainty, I personally lower my risk. If I even trade this at all. But because the pullback was so minimum, like this pullback here was pretty light, like we didn't even cross 50%. That kind of gives me that idea that this is probably pretty valid for this to actually reverse. So I would take a trade like this with less risk, but could still take a swing at something like this. Again, not my favorite. I'm not going to share it, but this is what I see. From here, GBPCAD. This one to me is like just super dumb clean. Like, do you guys? This one is one of those setups where you're like, wow, this is this is the kind of trade that I want to take. Now, in the chat, can you guys let me know what's the correlating pair with GBPCAD? What pair goes really well with this?
EURAUD.
Are you in the chat? But yeah, EUROCAD, you're right. Who said EUROCAD? Good stuff, Long. So, GBPCAD. GU, what's up, Hazley? What's good? That's an OG right there. Damn, that's nuts. The boy. So, GU does correlate. EUROCAD will correlate normally a bit better. So, if you see this here, we can put them side by side. Now, because here's the thing. GCAD, would you all agree that this is a pretty clean setup?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Here's the problem with that. Now, this might be a really good setup, so I'm not creating issues that don't exist. But this is frozen, so I guess this is an issue. All right, whatever. If I look at EUROCAD, is EUROCAD similar? Not really, right? It's actually not really giving us the same setup. So then that's fine. Then GBPCAD it is. GBPCAD, we clearly see the sweep to the downside, clears out the money, gives us higher highs, stays up here. In this case, GU might be actually a more correlated in this moment. And it is. GU actually is a lot cleaner. But in this case, you see how GU has already pulled back a pretty decent amount? Like, if we go from the low to the high, this has pulled back a pretty decent amount. GBPCAD, still, this is a great setup. And the risk to reward on this setup might be really rewarding, because the pullback is going to be pretty deep whenever it is that we get here. And this is the zone that I would be looking for opportunities. Right around here. So GBPCAD, we'll just say we'll take it right up here. You have stop loss below this low. Roughly, this is what my setup would be like. And then based on the way we work our way down, that's going to really set up my exit. Assuming this is the low and then it just kind of tanks from here, then we may be in a situation where we're taking this pretty far ahead. Even here, let's say you see how the market chopped up right over here. Sometimes it struggles to do the same thing on the way back, and it might just reverse. So 4.5 risk reward, that's great. That's a great opportunity. The chances of this happening, we're looking at more closer to Wednesday, right? That news event is Wednesday, 1:30 a.m. Pacific time. So that's when this is more than likely to go down, somewhere around here. So you can add a couple things as well if you want. Let me see here. I can't full screen this. All right, whatever. But you can add an alert. There's like a vertical tool that you can use, and if you want to just kind of draw out when exactly news events are, you can use that if you want. And then, so here is GBPCAD. Mike, what's up, Argentina? What's good? Message retracted. Aw, Hazley, come on, man, I love you. Mike, ¿qué puedes decir sobre el euro dólar? You were more right in this vendetta. I can see it. With this one, we saw this clear a whole bunch of money, and instantly price came crashing back down. So I want to explain this to y'all super quick. I want to let you know what you're missing out on because you're not showing up. And that, I mean, I'm talking shit to y'all too. So no one's safe, guys. I just want to let y'all know. Everyone equally gets disrespected in my vicinity. So if I can learn how to use TradingView, I'll definitely explain it. All right. So the first setup was right here. The first setup that you see play out, the market on New York open instantly clears the high, pulls back down. We see the market actually retrace inside of this. So this is giving the typical break and retest type of price action. So you see price clear the highs, come down again, come down again. And so in this process, what happens is people start to buy some more. Meanwhile, price is really looking to not only push down, but also liquidate everyone that was buying here as well. So when price took this down, there we go. So then we had price stay down here. It's trading below these lows for about 30 minutes or so, and finally pulls back again. So now the second sell was based off of this massive institutional buy. This buy here, money drives price higher, takes out sells. Finally, it decides on that, no, you know what, we're actually still bearish. So the market pulls back. And then now we're selling because the money that was used to use this here. And then we take this for a 2.5 R. And we're happy. And now price is back again. And there was actually a third entry, but honestly, at this point I was like, come on, again? Like, there's no way it's going to happen again. And then it definitely did. And we got it again. So today, US 30 was super. You broke even? Why didn't you exit? Baby. All right, cool. So again, this is available to everybody in the morning. You just got to show up, man. Or just follow instructions, you know? What's up? Did you plug in Tizzle this morning?
I woke up and I locked back out.
So you didn't wake up?
You're
Sleeping, bro. Sleeping.
Yeah, I was in there and I locked out on the car.
Yeah. What did I tell you? Did you get out of bed? Nah, that's the problem, man. That's the problem. Hey, if y'all have struggles waking up, just get out of bed. Go outside. Go look at the sun. Straight into the sun. You'll stay up.
It doesn't not even know.
Sun's not up?
Nah.
Really?
He's looking at the stars.
Someone's all fucking.
Yeah, Tizzle stays sleeping. Bro, they talking trash in the chat on YouTube. The whole public. Y'all, stop bullying this child. Let's see what happens. What do y'all think? If we hit buy and sell at the same time, right?
That's a move.
So, news about to hit. There's no entries. This is just more just to see what happens in the next 30 seconds or so. There's no entries that I see whatsoever. You think it goes up?
To the entries. To the sell entries. I don't think Galloway up there. But
She's gonna fly in there and James gonna enter and then come back down.
5 seconds.
Come on. There it goes, yeah. So GBPAUD is now spiking down. Yo, can y'all quiet down? So look at that. So price spiked in one direction and now it's up, came back down.
AUDJPY.
AUDJPY. There we go. It cleared the highs.
Yeah.
Coming back down. So, like I said in the beginning, these news events, what happen is if there's no setup, if there's no opportunity, what can happen later is these news events can create an opportunity for the future. So right now, we just saw AUDJPY clear liquidity. Could you have sold up here? Sure. But what had you been guessing? Yeah. Drop. This is not playing games right now. Oh my goodness. Jeez. And could this have been expected? This level of volatility? Look at how long it was squeezing.
I swear.
Yo, can y'all quiet down a little bit? So I'm gonna cancel you right now. So this spiked up. I'm playing. I love you. This spiked up here. and then this comes crashing down. So here's what happened. Does anybody right now feel some type of way? Like, oh, bro, you know, I thought I was going to do this and that, and etc. And my question is, does it even matter? Because now you have a way cleaner setup. Like now, like for me, if this holds these lows, right? If this chills here, if it doesn't wild out, if we actually find some stability down here, cool. Now I get a pullback, and all right, now I can sell this. And this easy setup, easy. EURAUD. We had talked about this as well. I had GA alert, but I don't think I had a EURAUD alert. So what happens here? EURAUD, it had to spike down, spike up, spike down, spike back up. So they all did the same thing. AUDCAD spiked up, spiked back down, and now it's losing momentum. So here's the thing: just because price went lower, this doesn't mean, right? This doesn't mean that this is now a lower low. Not by my book. Maybe for you, that's what you think, but for me, this to me, I'm looking at intention. And what's the purpose of this move? If it loses all this steam, then this matter is how this actually plays out. What's happened right now doesn't really give me enough. It doesn't give me enough information. It's what happens after this. So AUDJPY definitely cleared these highs, pushing lower, which is cool. Let's see what else we got here. I'm going to run through this one more time. AUDNZD pulled up, is down back here again. This could be a good setup. This could be a really good setup, but we have to wait and see. AUDUSD, similar scenarios. EURAUD, similar situation. So a lot of the market, this basically made identical setups everywhere. So how do you figure out which one do I trade? Well, here's one that I'll tell you shouldn't trade. AUDCAD. What did AUDCAD do again? More retail sellers in the same play. Again, like if you're retail, you're loving this. you're eating this up. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might be like, man, I'm gonna just quit smart money. I'm gonna just go back to resistance. And guess what? It could work. It really could work. Now, can I do that? I don't know. At this point, I'm just too deep. But I could. So what would I wait for? At this point, seeing how this is playing out, I think that we really do have to liquidate these positions, and that'll probably set up other things as well. But what it does seem like right now, 5 minutes after the news event, looks like it's holding down these levels pretty decent. So we may have some bearish structure. Price might settle in here and trade properly. So we'll see what happens. Looks like we may have, maybe for tomorrow's session, it could do something. Now what I'm curious about is if NZD took a hit too, and if it tanked like that. No, not really. ¿Qué piensas comprar en 8833 en AUDCAD? No, I'm good. No me interesa. Alright. This really turned out to be a 2-hour session, huh? That's crazy. For free ski.
From the rancho office.
From the rancho office. Alright, the dollar. AU could be a play. Awesome call. Thank you. It's the passion. Jarrett. It's the passion. Yeah, I'm really passionate about AUD news. Look how small these candles are. Yo, someone wake up GU. This is more asleep than Tizzle.
Yeah, I'm seeing a picture.
So right now, we don't have news for the dollar till Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So probably closer to those days, we're going to see a little bit more information, and we'll have a lot more clarity on what's to happen. So right now, I'm kind of chilling. not much else to do at this point. Yeah, so tomorrow's morning session, we'll definitely have more perspective, and we'll have a better idea of what's going on. To close out with metals, we talked about this last week on what could happen. Last Monday we were live here together, and we were sitting right around here with price action. Was like right over here. Yeah, right over here. So we talked about liquidity building up on these levels, how the money, we could see it push up and then down, which is what happened. I haven't been able to position myself in the market, and I'll be real, these gold sells and the buys were really clean. It followed my plan, except for silver. So the fact that silver is building up so much money up here is really kind of keeping me out of gold positions because they're vulnerable to me. So I still think we spike up into here before we drop. So I do think we get gold to rally one more time, and that'll probably bring us up into these levels. But we already took care of business over here. We already took care of business over here. So at this point now, the last thing I'm really waiting for is for silver to clear those highs, and then we can really, and this will, looks like to me, it could be setting up for a swing sell. So silver taking out this liquidity and getting into this zone, this should push gold up too. And then from there, that's what I'm looking to bring it down. So that's what I see. That's basically my take on the market, almost like the whole thing. At this point, we went over everything. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Bitcoin, it's choppy. I'm done. I'm gonna wrap up right there, guys. I appreciate all of you that plugged in with me today. It's been a good time here. If y'all want to plug in with me, then you can catch me Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for English and Spanish sessions in the morning. If you want to plug in with that and you're not already, shoot me a message. But appreciate everybody else. Trade smart, trade disciplined, and my recommendation would be to get off the charts. Get off the charts now. It's over. Go do something else. Be productive, right? Manage your emotions. What's up?
Go touch grass.
Go touch some grass, all right? Love y'all. And every Monday we do this session, so I'll see y'all here. Expect a couple more videos from me, long form and short form. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace out, fam.